You were around when he did the Ronnie Kray funeral?
Yeah, I was with Dave when he was doing that.
Yeah. What was that whole experience like?
That was it was an experience. The fact that there was like 500 flat-nosed,
They was from all over the country, weren't they?
everywhere.
Yeah.
You name it, right? They were there. If there was anybody, they was working on that funeral. Anybody that wanted to help out and obviously show their respect. It was a good day. Yeah.
Was Dave organising the whole thing?
Dave basically pulled everybody back together to do this. I don't think Dave ever got paid for it.
No.
I don't think Dave wanted paying for it. But just the fact that, it was...
Well, he didn't get paid for it, right? And he thought it was going to propel him into loads of door work and make a load of money, and it actually him. Really.
Basically, the old Bill thought, who the is this fella, just pulled up, like 400 or 500 fellas. And
was there a lot of sort of heat on you then?
To be fair, when they're on you, the old Bill, you don't know it. They're that good at it now. They follow you in 5 or 6 different cars. It's you don't know it until it's too late, sort of thing. But every now and then, he used to feel a bit, but obviously Dave had his connections as well, so we knew where when it was on us and when it weren't, or what they was interested in, what we'd been up to, and like Dave was getting the heads up from the Joker days. You know what I mean?
Was there ever a moment when the two of you were together and you thought, oh God, we're really in trouble now? We're like a really difficult situation.
I'll tell you that for a fact that he told me he never ever felt scared when he was with Ian. There weren't one day, he honestly said, I never felt a day when, if it might have been a bit sticky, but he went, I didn't feel, because I had Tucker with me, I felt really confident.
Listen, at that time, there was some proper naughty ones floating about. And luckily, 99% of us all got on with each other, Like you've got doormen from every club in London and they're all going to the gas club, right? And I remember my ex-missus, her brother come up and said, Ian, he said, all your mates are fucking Terminators, right? And I went, what do you mean? He went, look at them all, for fuck's sake. You know them all, didn't you? He went, upsetting you.
Well, that gas club on a Sunday night, and that was, if you knew everyone in there, it was wicked, wasn't it? It was a great place. But if you walked in there as a little bit of a thought
he was somebody a little bit special. Thing is, everyone was off their nut anyway.
Enjoying
themselves. Letting their guard down and having it with proper people. And it was a fantastic atmosphere. And this went on for years. It was just colossal.
That was the Sunday night club.
Sunday night, if you weren't in the gas club.
That's it. Having it.
You had to be in it to win it, sort of thing, But
do you miss those days?
Oh, don't listen.
There's sometimes here when I hear a certain music, a certain record,
I'll play them every day,
and it will bring me back, and I can actually remember. I remember the E I had that night to that tune. Do you know what I mean? I really thought I could dance to that one. But and there's a part of me I'd give anything to have one more night with all of us there. But we're all too old. It's a pastime. It's gone. But we were lucky to live through that period of time.
That experience was just.
Anyone, I've watched documentaries about the rave scene and people in Ireland say exactly the same as us. People went clubbing in Dublin and all round Ireland. Any city that had that music and that club scene, it was a euphoric experience for those involved. You know what I mean? Nothing else had ever been like it.
Fellas that we was having it with, like love you and all that, all that euphoria from the ecstasy. It were like. Once the cold light of day had set in the next day, and you found out a little bit about who you was having it with, your Carltons, your Mark Bates, all proper people, like
Billy Isaac,
like these fellas are like fucking heavy duty, they was on a level with whatever you needed doing, it could be done. you know, and it was done. You know, there was no, you know, the people that was in there, you know, were.
There weren't nothing else in London to touch them people at that time.
Nothing.
In that period of time, you know, that Mad Jack, Billy Isaacs, Mark Bates.
He's
you know
dead
what I mean?
now.
Yeah.
There's, you know, Francis Martin, he's dead now. You know, like there was all proper people. You know, like but.
Did you sort of move away from that kind of life?
I basically settled down, had children, and not that I stepped away from it. I always kept in contact with Dave, but it was just something that you couldn't go on forever, you know.
No.
It's
Lee knew that. Dave, he turned his back on it, didn't he? He knew that there was a.
Was that sort of the same time? Do you think?
Yeah, it was the same time. You and Dave sort of both turned it in your own way, didn't you? Do you know what I mean? Dave often said to me, he went, look, the only way in that job is if you keep going, you're going to do 20 years in prison or get another belly button that you don't want. You know, so I think you was both clever and wise men. Although they stepped away from it, they was never too far away from it if something had to be, you know, done. But like they definitely went on a different path. And Dave, he you know, and he was right. The value in his stories is what Lock Stock was based on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Guy Ritchie spent them a couple of years with him.
Yeah.
There'll never be another Dave.
No.
Not all. Never.
No.
He, you know, it breaks my heart to know how much pain he was in.
Were you aware that he was that bad?
I spoke to Dave 3 or 4 days before. I come up and spent the evening with him. He was doing a bit of filming out the back, and I come up and spent 3 or 4 hours with him, and he was trying to tell me then how much pain he was in, but I didn't connect it and realise.
But he had a high pain threshold.
Yeah, he did. And the fact that I'd clocked that he used to love a bit of whiz, we all did.
Yeah.
But that is a brilliant painkiller.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And that wasn't doing it anymore, was it?
Well, he was doing it for him, but he'd spent that long getting clean so he could get his driving licence back and do all the rest of it. You know, like he wanted to start calming down and not doing it every day, you know. But as soon as he actually forgot about the driving thing, I don't know what switched him, but I said to him, "You're flying, aren't you?" And he went, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Look, you know, I knew straight away. I've seen it for years, you know." We had a laugh and a joke.
And what it was at that time, the only way Dave could go down there and do the film or be up, because of the pain and the arthritis, he knew that filming was going to be done that day. So he got up, took a load of whiz, overrid the pain. Like Ian said, it is a good painkiller, and you know, he overrid it, but as soon as that started to wear off, he was in bed for 3 days again after that with the pain, and he had to.
It used to take its toll, basically.
Yeah,
you know?
it proper took its toll.
You know,
on him,
whereas when we was a lot younger, we could do it 5, 6, 7 days. You know, like I used to go out on a Thursday and come back on a Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah.
Is there a favourite moment in that early life that you look back and thought, God, you know, I really was the business, and this is an amazing moment?
Listen, the whole lot of it
was a film, Ian, wasn't it?
I'd say 5 years of it is all a blur.
Yeah.
Right.
Generally, it is.
It was just every week, every other day, something was happening.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, I'd need a week to go through all these.
You was round him when the Roger Cook thing happened, weren't you?
Oh my God. Yeah, so my mate's got this massive, great big yacht in St Catherine's Dock, a very close friend of mine, and he's basically said to me, Ian, if you ever want to use it, right, just crack on. Here's the keys, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I took Dave up there one Sunday morning. He's gone, fucking hell, wow. Right, he's like, you know, it's got 4 or 5 bedrooms in it, you know, there's got big plasma screens everywhere, and it was out of this world, this boat. Anyway, we went raving and then went back there. All having a party on the boat. Anyway, so shortly after that, Roger Cook has managed to get hold of Dave, and he wants to do an interview with him. Well, he didn't just sneak up on him. We had it all organised that Dave went, "Can I do it on the boat?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Yeah, no worries. Yeah, why not?" So anyway, didn't think no more of it. Next bit, it's all Roger Cook's on the telly with Dave, and God, my mate's ringing me out, "Tucker, what's my boat doing?" Roger Cook. Oh, fucking hell. Listen, I swear to God, it was funny. Everyone ringing him up saying, "Well, Colin, what are you doing? Why's your boat on there?" And all that, you know. Oh my God.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, but like he I mean, Dave told me when he first done him, he knocked on his door to try and stitch him up. And Dave went, "Well, hang on, let me get dressed. I love a camera, mate." Then he went, "Look, don't do it like that. Just do a proper interview with me on the boat. I'll tell you everything."
Yeah, so basically it weren't a sneak up thing that everyone saw on the telly. It was it was Dave. Yeah. Dave had organised it, you know, and absolutely hilarious.
How did obviously you must have been terribly sad when you heard the news. Do you remember when you heard that he passed away?
Yeah. Oh, don't. Ange rung me up. I was walking the dog with the missus, and Ange told me, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, it was like I said, I was very lucky that he had explained it to me for about a year, what he wanted in, do you know what I mean? And he just made me say, "You can't say a word to no one, I'm trusting you with that one thing. Don't say nothing in it and let me do it how I want to do it," do you know what I mean? And I had that last 3 months of pretending it weren't happening and trying, you know, and I really regret now, if I've got a regret, it's that when Dave used to try and say to me things, you know, like maybe to help me or prepare me, I tried to avoid it because I didn't want him to do it. And I thought, if I don't talk about it, he won't do it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to give any encouragement to it. And like, you know, that's a regret I have sometimes, that I wish I'd have spoke to him more. I wish I could have one more day with him. Do you know what I mean? But in fairness, everything that he wanted was clear. And he was like meticulous in how he put everything together. Do you know what I mean?
And I think I can only say personally, you want to be remembered as this larger than life, joyous character.
That's why I'm here today.
Yeah.
Right? No other reason. You know, there's.
Like I said, Dave's most exciting period of his life was with you, and he said that over and over again, and he used to get a buzz in his eyes if you talked about, "Dave, tell me about you and Tucker." It was like, you know, two blokes that had been in the war together coming back with their war stories. That was how them two were, and Dave's eyes would light up with Ian Tucker, even talking about the other boys that was involved in the time, you know, the Mad Pete's, the Marcuses, the Mark Bates, all of that period of his life was so exciting for him. And these were the men that were with him at the time and were really a code on their own. They was like a little group of, you know, like if there was anything to be dealt with, it would be down to them to deal with it. And they just, some people are born to do that. Like I said, I'm born to run off and be a coward.
I'm with you.
I'm not ashamed of it. That's what I am. I've got to admit it. But they were born for that. They were just born for it. You know, they and every generation has them and needs them. You know, but they were the ones that had a little bit of moral compass that would do things, you know, in the right way, wasn't it? Do you know, it was always for a right reason.
Honestly, you only even touch the sides with the stories that I've just got to remember them and try and get my head around explaining them. You know, if I'm going to go,
because they are people. I mean, I've lived with Dave and Ian and been around them for 30 years, and even now, if you try to tell some of them stories, people will go in there and go, "They're talking." And they're fucking talking shit, but it really happened. It really was a period of time which is different to now, There weren't no top security cameras everywhere. There weren't no way of tracking you. The phones weren't the same as they are now. It was a different world altogether. It was a different era without the technology, and it was a little bit more
Fun,
racy and pacey, and it was a new thing, wasn't it? Raving was new, ecstasy was new.
Yeah.
But ecstasy was a great drug for clubbing, because you could go to a nightclub with 3,000 people, there wouldn't be a fight.
No.
You went to a pub with 100 people drinking, it'd all kick off.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm not, I know you can't condone it, but in our era, the ecstasy, you know, like, was something that we all done, and we all enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? I do know it had bad sides.
You know,
to it.
it's everything had to change. You know, you couldn't carry on.
No, it would never have carried on, but it was just a bit like the Wild West, isn't it? We lived through that period of time, and we look back now and thinking we had freedom. We literally went where we want, done what we want all around London.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I say that only on the back of them two, that I got into clubs everywhere because I was their friend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was the only reason. I weren't because of my status. I was just purely Dave's mate that made him laugh, so I could get in everywhere. But I had such a brilliant time. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed every moment of it.
Everywhere we went, every club we went to, we got red carpet.
Yeah, VIP every
it
time.
It was, you know, and it was like that. That alone was like a drug in itself, you know, because you're going, you know, you're getting, you know, there was 50 places we could have gone in London, but once we found out where everybody else was going, you know, we used to see, you know, bowl up and get treated very, you know, we knew the door.
Well, even if they went down to Margate, they went to Folkestone,
wherever we went,
Manchester,
wherever we went,
you know,
we was getting looked after, you know, and that makes a big difference, you know, when you're not paying everywhere, get in everywhere, you know, like, honestly, you couldn't write.
You got butterflies in your stomach at weekends. I did. I used to get that excited.
You know, that was me for months, years. Going out on a Thursday and coming back on a Tuesday. Every weekend.
Really brilliant.
Right, and we was like inseparable. You know, me and Dave. That must have gone on for about 7-8 years. You know.
Yeah.
It was a wild time, and like I said, they were. The police didn't really understand the ecstasy, and that culture was just starting. That culture of music and drugs and the whole clubbing thing had only just ignited. So no one really knew it, did they? They was a bit scared of it. That's why they stopped them having raves in fields and tried to squeeze it into nightclubs where they had a bit more. But all they done with putting it into nightclubs, it just made it a sort of place where everyone and the people behind it made millions more, didn't they, with the drugs? Do you know what I mean?
Well, would you do it all again?
Well,
I'd love to do it all again, Ian, most of it. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't have to ask. Listen, you could never, ever turn the clocks back and get that again.
No, you won't get it again. That's impossible.
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 You know.
It wasn't there a time when he went to court, did you ever put...
Oh, my God.
Was it in the straw? He told me that.
Anyway, these little trip things that I don't know what they were.
Microdots.
No, not microdots. Mick Jaggers or something. They were like little bits of paper.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was throwing them around everywhere, trying to put them in people's drinks and that, you know, and it made you hallucinate. Honestly, we was off key. Anyway, so I'm taking him to court one particular morning. I think it was Epping Magistrates Court. Anyway, I've gone in the petrol garage, he's in the car, and I've got these microdots. You know these Ribena things you get?
With a straw,
with a straw in it. Well, I thought, I pulled the straw out a little bit, and I've stuck 2 of these microdots in the straw. In the straw, so anyway, I said, do you want to throw him one of these drinks? Me knowing which one I've given him. Anyway, so he's checked it all and he's looked at it all and he went, there's nothing wrong with that, it's lovely. Bearing in mind he was still flying anyway because we've been out all weekend. Anyway, I watched him get hold of this straw, pierce this thing and then go, about 20 minutes later he went, fucking hell. He went, you bastard. Oh my God. Anyway, he's acted right up in court. He's got a mobile phone about that big, big orange, fucking red Tommy phone, I think it was
Yeah,
called.
toy one, wasn't it?
Toy phone. Anyway, this magistrate's talking to him and he's pushed the button and he's gone made all these noises and everything. He went, "Excuse me, Your Honour." He said, "Can I just take this?" Anyway, he starts talking on this. Yeah. Oh my God, honestly. Listen, seeing is believing. But that, I swear to God, on my children's life, that's what happened. Right? Fucking unbelievable. And we're fucking crying. Absolutely crying.
There was always that element of you never knew what was going to happen, but you know something would happen all the time, Ian, wouldn't it?
Every day or every other day, you know.
Exactly. Ian,
because
thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Right, thank you for coming.
We really appreciate it, Ian. Thanks very much.
Yeah.